in April of 1967, inside an ordinary high school classroom in California, a history teacher attempted to answer what seemed like a harmless question. How did the German population accept, follow, and sustain a totalitarian regime without widespread resistance? His students were confident. They believed it could never happen again. Not to them. Not in a modern democratic society. The teacher's name was Ron Jones, and instead of explaining, he decided to demonstrate. On the first day, Ron Jones entered the classroom differently. His posture was rigid, his voice firm. Without smiling, he wrote 2 words on the board and demanded complete silence. Discipline and strength. He explained that discipline created efficiency, that efficiency eliminated distraction and weakness. He taught students how to sit properly, feet flat on the floor, back straight, hands behind their backs. Speaking required permission. Answers had to be short and precise. The results were immediate. The classroom became quiet, focused, efficient. Students responded faster than ever before. For the first time, they felt synchronized, organized, powerful. Many felt pride in this new structure. At the end of the class, Ron told them this was only the beginning. On the second day, he introduced the idea of community. Discipline alone, he said, meant nothing without belonging. He named the movement he had created, the Third Wave. The name came from the belief that the third wave in a series is always the strongest. He taught them a specific salute, a simple gesture meant to identify members. Participation was not mandatory, but those who refused immediately stood out. The third wave, he explained, stood for unity, pride, and commitment to something greater than the individual. Something shifted. Students began to identify themselves as part of an exclusive group. The salute appeared in hallways. Other students became curious. Some asked to join. Ron allowed it. By the third day, the experiment had escaped the classroom. Ron issued membership cards. Some cards were marked with a special symbol. Those students received a secret task. They were instructed to observe and report anyone who failed to follow the rules of the third wave. Without realizing it, students began policing one another. Reporting was no longer seen as betrayal, it was loyalty. Questioning the movement became dangerous. Long-standing friendships weakened. Fear replaced curiosity. Power replaced doubt. At that moment, Ron Jones understood something unsettling. The system no longer depended on him. The students were enforcing it themselves. If this story is already making you uncomfortable, take a moment to like the video. It helps this channel continue bringing real stories that expose the darker sides of human behavior. On the fourth day, Ron announced that the third wave was part of a larger national movement, a secret one. He told the students that soon the true leader would reveal himself to the world. Excitement spread. Some students believed instantly. Others felt fear, but continued participating to avoid isolation. The classroom now felt like a military unit. Silence was absolute. Any deviation was corrected immediately, often by other students. One student physically shoved another against a wall for not appearing committed enough. Parents began calling the school. Teachers noticed alarming changes. Some students who had always felt invisible now felt powerful. Others were clearly distressed but unable to leave. Ron Jones realized the experiment had gone too far. On the fifth day, he gathered all members of the third wave in one room. He told them they would finally see the national leader speak. A projector was turned on. The screen remained blank. Minutes passed. No sound, no image. Then Ron turned off the projector and told them the truth. There was no leader. There was no national movement. The third wave was never real. He explained that their behavior was no different from the behavior of millions who had supported authoritarian regimes throughout history, that they had surrendered critical thinking for belonging, freedom for structure, identity for obedience. Many students cried, others sat in shock, some refused to believe it. In just 5 days, ordinary teenagers had become followers, willing to exclude, report, and even harm others for a cause that never existed. The third wave experiment was never repeated in this form. Ron Jones later admitted he lost control of the situation. What began as a lesson nearly became something much worse. This story teaches a disturbing truth. Authoritarianism does not begin with violence. It begins with small compromises. With comfort replacing freedom. With the fear of standing alone. If you made it this far, reflect on how often we follow ideas, rules, or groups without questioning them. History shows this can happen to anyone. Subscribe to World in List for more real stories that reveal the darkest corners of human behavior. Thank you for watching.